Gentrification happens when investors and developers decide to redevelop communities with a profit-driven mission with no regard for existing residents. In this video, I go on a car ride in Houston's Fifth Ward with Mark discussing why all of us need to capitalize on the redevelopment of the Fifth Ward together, especially since I have a proven blueprint that allows us to invest, be profitable, and rebuild the community without displacing existing residents. I want us to be the ones to redevelop Fifth Ward while it's in its early phases. After we use my blueprint to grow and profit from the redevelopment at Fifth Ward, we can take that exact blueprint and redevelop other parts of America, essentially the opposite of textbook gentrification.
I want people to learn how to invest in Fifth Ward right now. Is that your goal?
Yes, this is how you can, this is the way we usually miss, right? This is the opportune time to get in when you know a big project is coming before the values start increasing drastically. You buy the property now, you sit on it, you're gonna double your money just by holding the property.
How did you learn about those other things that obviously those things seem like they will increase the value of the neighborhood? How did you learn about those things?
So man, I learned this from an older white guy that was an investor, and he asked me how I was picking my houses I was flipping. And I just told him randomly, I was looking at numbers. He's like, no, he's like, you gotta pay attention to the city plans. He's like, you can go on the website, they have 5-10 year plans, and they tell you exactly where the next phase of development, what neighborhood they want to see revitalized. And Fifth Ward was one of the ones that came up on that list. And man, there was just so much opportunity here. So, I mean.
So are you looking at like a roadmap? Is there like a future roadmap with plan development, things in the works?
Definitely. So usually it's the urban planning department or the city planning department. They'll have that full scale plan of what they plan to do. Now what they do is like things like this. See how this road was repaved like 5 years ago. They did that because they want developers to come and say, okay, the city has done their part. They've improved the infrastructure. Now we can come in and we can build up.
So they want community. Developers to come in and build it up.
They definitely do. Yeah, they definitely do. For them, the oldest wealth generation and the oldest business in the world is owning real estate. Even the reason the king was rich is because he owned all the land and he collected tariffs. Property taxes is the same system. So what they want to do is bring all this dead property value up, and they want to start collecting more revenue through property taxes.
So do you think it's too late to invest in Fifth Ward?
No, definitely not. There's tons of opportunity now to invest. I mean, you can still see there's still a lot of blight throughout the community. So there's still a lot of opportunity to buy land, to buy real estate. Let's preserve the culture of the neighborhood. At one point in time, this was all black owned, because it was an all black neighborhood. So.
But from what
this is actually my Airbnb right here. I got some residents leaving from Airbnb right now. So this house looked like the White House, but when I bought it. Okay. But it's been booked. We just finished it about a month ago, and it's been booked every day. And it's like one of only 3 Airbnbs in Fifth Ward right now. Yeah. But no.
So what I'm gathering, Chris, is that you're like, okay, so let's learn the system. Let's all come together. Let's build this neighborhood, and then let's go to other neighborhoods and do the exact same blueprint.
Exactly. Replicate the blueprint.
Like reverse gentrification.
Reverse gentrification. That's exactly what it is. All right, so this is Fifth Ward. The street right in front of us is Lyons Avenue. This was actually the business district for Fifth Ward. So you talk about Black Wall Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Every city had to have that because we couldn't patronize businesses in other communities. So from doctors, lawyers, cleaners, laundromats, everything was on this street. Matter of fact, right around the corner here, this little corridor right here has recently been redeveloped by the Redevelopment Authority. This is actually the first black movie theater in Houston right here, Deluxe Theater. They partnered with TSU, and now it's a performing arts hall. And so a lot of rich history right here on this street. Throughout this whole corridor used to be hotels and restaurants on the right where you see green, just green parking now. You see the property that we're working on right here. So this building was built in 1920. It used to be a barbershop and a little restaurant. So instead of tearing it down, we're gonna bring it back to life. And that house was built in 1925. And this was an old washateria. I've been negotiating with the seller.
Right here?
Yeah, this
3120?
3120. But the business district actually continued straight down this street, but as what happened in a lot of communities like this, they ran the freeways right through our neighborhoods, and there were no exit ramps right here for a while, so a lot of the businesses here died. So that in combination with the desegregation, a lot of people just moved out of the neighborhoods. But look at this view, look how close we are to downtown. This is like the last quadrant of Houston that hasn't been redeveloped that has this type of access to downtown. Redevelopment started in the Heights and it kind of went counterclockwise around the city. So this is the last frontier. And this is why we're trying to control as much of this narrative as possible.
What's the advantage of tearing it down and building it up as opposed to just making money off of what it is now?
That's a great question. A lot of people, it's a pure capitalism play, right? It's just you can get more money by building something new and selling it than you can off a slow accumulation of just collecting rents every month.
Correct.
Right. So some people will prefer to build and sell. However, the long-term value that you get out of owning cash flowing assets is that you don't have to continue to work. You know, the second you stop building, you stop making money. It's really a job, right? But when you buy rental properties and you hold it over the long term, you know, you get the value appreciation, your net worth goes up, and you get the passive income. So it's really just it's just the opinions and the perspective of the individual investors deciding what they want to do.
So what are some properties that you've looked at but you haven't kind of pursued yet in the area?
Well, I mean, you see a lot of things like this, right? These are good projects, but essentially what happens in a lot of my circumstances, I run out of money before I run out of opportunity. So I just don't want to manage too many projects at once. But these are definitely on the radar, you know. So and that's why what I do with my students, you know, I bring them to these opportunities so they can make the money off of it, you know, and they can participate in, you know, the positive revitalization of the neighborhood with the right mentality and the right focus on doing the right things.
Right now, there's an influx of bad investing information from newbies and gurus looking to make a quick buck at our community's expense, which is why I need your help spreading the proper investing information so that we can put the right building blocks in place for our community. You can do this by leaving a comment, sharing the video, and clicking the bell and subscribe button. Building generational wealth through real estate is obtainable with the right direction. Let's help our community buy back our blocks. Also, I created a free ebook that gives you 5 strategies to invest in real estate that fit into any schedule. To get it, click the link in the description.